Good morning, Gare.
I'm a George Rath fan.
And that's because why?
Well, I work with George on New Year's.
Yes.
And George is cool.
As a cucumber. Seriously.
And I have another fan who I just met in person for the first time.
Yeah.
Mike Pelton.
Oh, we love Mike. I like to say, though, like on Seinfeld when he said Newman, I like to say Pelton every time I see him.
No, but my point is, we did all those little 49er reports. Mike was back in Green Bay.
Right.
And you think, another guy, hi, I'm going to talk for a living,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But then you meet Mike in person, he's this big, giant guy.
Yes, someone to look up to, for me. For you, about level, isn't he? What is he, 6'4"? I don't know.
Well, we arm wrestled. It was pretty good. No, but I'm just saying, I was just fascinated meeting Mike Pelton.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought here's just a young guy who, he talks for a living. He got beat up for about 20 years, and he went into the media. But then you see Pelton in person, he's very impressive.
So did you not... Did you not feel this way about Da Lin or Will Tran when you first met them?
Anyway,
just
what's
asking.
the next question?
You don't care. Okay, no.
No. Da Lin, I've told you the story before. He's in a red jacket, and I flipped in the keys and told him, don't scratch my car.
I didn't know you met... Was that when you had the Bentley?
Okay, we don't...
What? I want to know. You wouldn't let me near that thing.
Well, that's all right. Daria, I've told you before, that's all for an insecure front. If I felt better about myself, I'd take public transportation. But instead, you just really, when you're starting to, get older in this business, they say, boy, Gary's been doing it 30 years. Maybe he's slowing down. Oh, he's got a Bentley? No, he's still good.
Right. He's
all theatrics, young lady.
The little do they know you're living in it.
What's
is that? Are you living? You're living in the car.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway,
well,
enough about us.
I was going to talk about the BCS championship game.
Well, I'd rather talk about Pelton.
Well,
that was a great game last night.
No, it was amazing. Another one that you guys love, where it's like down to the finish, and it was the battle of, my two big sports consultants here on the morning news. I've got Dan, who really did not want Florida to win. He didn't like the fact that it's like they're big kind of thugs, like they're recruiting, like they're cool, he just didn't like the whole thing.
Florida State.
Yes, he didn't like Florida State. I know he's the Heisman winner, but the whole thing surrounding Jameis Winston with the alleged rape, no charges, but still. Anyway, so I have him. Then I got Zito, who's like, you know what? I want Florida State just because I'm anti-SEC.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it through their eyes, and I didn't know what to do. One was winning, the other was winning, and the last second Florida State wins.
Yeah, well, fair for that first half, particularly, it looked like Florida State was going to suffer their first loss.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, those three lead changes at the end of the game, that really was a dynamic game, and no matter how you feel about Florida State, they won that game.
They sure did.
Nobody lost it. Nobody, choked. Florida State just, they had the ball last, and that was it.
There it is. Final 13 seconds makes it 34-31. So now back to Pelton and the 49ers. He's not going, listen, he's not going to the next game. We got to have an order of things. He got to go to that one. So we've got the Panthers coming up. This game, talk about who was watching last night's game. This game, do you know that the game that Pelton did, the great Pelton covered, was the most watched wild card game ever in history?
Well, and you've heard this story for years. Let me turn back the clock.
Okay.
Still the highest rated game in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
I know the audience, what the hell they're talking about, but a 49.1 is when the 49ers won their first Super Bowl, January of '81.
Wow.
And the country was in the same, weather was horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why the ratings, people love football.
Right.
But when everybody is indoors, as they were this past weekend, that's what jacks the rating even higher.
Okay, so that's what, so it was the combination of what happened with the 49ers and the cold weather that made that game. It was 47.1 million people watched that one.
I suggested we move KRON to the Midwest.
So we have a captive audience. They can't go, they're snowbound.
Exactly. You think Pelton's big hair. If we move to the Midwest, it'd be fabulous.
All right, so we got the game coming up with the Panthers.
By the way, your clothes, geez, you're fabulous.
You like it? Thank you.
You came back in 2014. This is supposed to be news, not a fashion show.
Well, listen, you're talking about all these people you meet, everything else. Marshawn Lynch, have you ever met him? You interviewed him or anything?
Yes, a couple of times. He runs a He's from Oakland.
Yeah.
And they run a summer camp. In fact, now we're mentioning names. After the show, he walks up to Pam and starts rapping. I said, Marshawn, you can't afford her. This is when he was in college, right?
Yeah.
Now he can't afford her, but Pam's not interested.
Okay, but obviously he's all chummy with y'all, and I know you love when I say that.
Well, you're in the South. It's terrific.
But here's the thing. Obviously, he hates the media so much that he's willing to pay $50,000. He just had to pay $50 grand because he didn't talk to the media all season.
Daria, he made $7 million this past season. I'll tell you a story quick. There was a guy, Derek Coleman, in the NBA.
Yeah.
Didn't want to wear a tie on road trips.
Right.
His coach said, I'll fine you $1,000 a game. He gave him $82,000 after the first game. That's $1,000 for each game.
All right. Well, he's not talking to you anymore, apparently.
But $5,000 out of $7 million.
50 grand. 50 grand.
The media.
All right. We'll see you again. We'll be right back.